I'm going to level with you right now. The plan has changed. And here's why. As you know, we've started getting the old Nissan torn apart, which it still needs to come apart for what I'm going to do with it. Otherwise, we started getting the old Nissan torn apart. Exterior, interior, in preparation for what we were going to do. Right? Then, I started coming over here a while ago. Thought we need to hurry up and get this front clip off of here to pull the cab, etc., etc. As I'm doing that, I just got kind of curious by the way I did get the front clip off, as you see. So I got curious and I went ahead, gave her a spin, took the valve cover off, and it is very clean in there. I've been thinking, okay, this engine right here has just shy of 3,000 miles on it. Original factory Ford engine, 1968 F-100, Ford inline 6, Ford 300. It's got a little over 2,800 miles on it. That's it. It's a good engine. Does it make crazy power? No. But the life of this truck has always been that bed, that cab, that engine, that transmission, etc., etc. So this is what I'm going to do. This truck is about the story. You got to let the vehicle talk to you sometimes, right? As weird as that may sound. No homo. You got to let the vehicle talk to you sometimes. And this vehicle is yelling at me, I want an inline 6. So I'm going to give it what it wants. It's also screaming at me, I want a new hood and new inner fender and a new core support. I'm going to give it those as well. I think the coolest thing to do with this truck, the proper thing to do with this truck, the right thing to do with this truck is to leave it how it came. It's just so cool of a little project, man. I can't rip it apart. If those rims are reusable, they're not, especially that one. But if those rims are reusable, even use them too. This back bumper, not factory, but this back bumper, it's part of the life of the truck, man. I might just keep it. This clearly has to be fixed. I don't want my bed flying off. Throw a back glass in the bad boy. Replace the floor pans going up in the firewall, a little bit of the side, the kick panels, etc. Get everything back in good order up here. Under the dash air. It's a 3-speed on the tree. Keep the steering wheel. Make the doors close. Move the tank somewhere different. That is going to change. I don't want to die. Rebuild a stock style. I said style, not factory. Rebuild a stock style front suspension. Do some work to the rear diff because it's been locked in gear since 1978. And then you know what? Drive the truck. And we know what that means. That means that the Nissan is going to take a back seat. It's going to be another project for another day. And that's okay with me because that means whatever my next project is, I've already got it started. I didn't even know it. Let's have a seat in the, probably need to go to the other side. I'm too fat for that. Ugh. Don't fall through. Don't fall through. Oh, whoop, that's scary. And it's a sawzall to my ribs. Okay. So what's the plan now? Like I said, we're going to keep this truck the way it is. It's just got so much character. And knowing the story, there's so much echo in here, man. It's even got a rearview mirror. I never even paid attention to that. I've never even paid attention. Anyways, it's got such a good story. Such a cool story. It's got the majority of its bones together. It's got all the original stuff. It's a less than 3,000 mile truck that I bought from the original owner. I mean, it needs to stay together. And as heartbreaking as that is in one way, it's absolutely thrilling in the other way. So, this project on this channel is going to change. what we're going to be doing next is trying to see if that engine still turns over. It's a 300, so it's like almost impossible that it wouldn't, but there's always an opportunity. But we're going to be trying to get that put together. If we can get it to turn over, then we'll pull it, set it aside, and we'll start looking at some other stuff. But this has turned into a proper rebuild instead of a resto-mod, body swap, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. But anyways, got to come up with a new name for this bad boy. If you got any ideas, just leave them right down below there. It speaks volumes to me that I am sitting in this truck. The floorboards are rotted out. They're gone. They're toasted. But I'm sitting in the truck because it's only the front section of the floor pans that are non-existent, and the firewall and some of the kick panel, like I said. But I'm a hefty man. You know what I mean? I'm like a 300-pound dude right now, and here I am. So now this truck is going to be a inline 6, 3 on the tree rebuild. That's not painted or anything. That's what this is going to be. I might try to turn this truck into a daily driver for a little while, like a hot rod daily driver. Well, not a daily driver. Like a hot rod 3 days a week daily driver. How's that? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just starting to really feel like the history and the bones of this particular truck, the way it is talking to me, you know what I'm saying? So we need to get a brake system in this thing because it's non-existent. We need to rebuild this 300 if it turns. We need to, if it turns properly. By that, what I'm saying is once I actually properly turn it multiple times and make sure that there's not anything catastrophic going on. Anyways, we need to rebuild this 300. We need to rebuild the transmission. We need to get into the rear diff. We need to replace these floor pans and firewall. I need to redo the electrical for the whole vehicle. Need to get new glass in the front and the back. The doors are fine, to be honest. Obviously, the trim and the weather stripping and all that will change. We're going to keep these Nissan seats because I just like them. They're pretty cool. They fit good in here. They're comfortable. So there's that. Trying to think of anything else I need to do. Obviously, the rust is pretty well limited to the floor pans and a little bit on the fenders, which is like normal places on the fenders, and then the entire floor of the bed, which is also very normal and, expected. Oh, man, I'm having trouble thinking of other things. I'm really trying. In redoing all the electrical, I'm gonna have to, get the turn signals going and all the lights working, everything electrical. I don't know why I started down that path, and I gotta get it all reading to the instrument cluster, which I'm just gonna reuse. Some under the dash AC. Relocate the tank. Maybe an armrest over there. Like, this is how, it's a sturdy truck. This truck has been sitting for 40 whatever, I think it's 1978 to 2024 years. And it's just in immaculate condition, especially considering the life that it lived up to this point. So I've got to keep it together. I hope you can respect that. It'll still be a really cool truck. Yeah, man, that's what we're going to do. Look at what I see from where I sit. Obviously these seats are just sitting in here, but it'll all be properly, lowered and pulled back and all that. Plus the tank will be gone, so that'll help us with room too. But what I see when I sit in this truck is not a vehicle that needs to be as molested as the plan previously was. I see a vehicle that needs love. You know what I'm saying? And a floor pan. Desperately. Never before have I been excited to build a 6-cylinder engine. Never have I built a 6-cylinder engine. But in this case, that's what I'm gonna do. It's just the right thing to do in this case. It's just too cool of a truck, man. Stay tuned for more of Hoffman built, whatever this is gonna be called, because it's not gonna be the F Titan anymore. But stay tuned, we're gonna rebuild this truck. I guess the next thing you'll see is some good old fashioned, let's see if we can get the engine to properly turn over videos. And then we will go on from there. It's hard to say what's going to be next and next and next in a project like this, because it was just decided today to rebuild it instead of body swap it. So this engine is going to be the source of the next, set of videos. This is what we're looking at right now. I don't like that it's been sitting here open for 46 years. I don't like that, well, a lot of things, but I'm not too overly scared about it. I'm really not. Check out those old Autolite spark plugs. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking out loud right now. This is where I had to cut the core support off because these bolts just weren't going anywhere. I need a brake booster, probably replace the column. If this gearbox is fine, I'll just clean it up, paint it up, and reuse it. I mean, I want to get the power washer out of this, honestly. I mean, as I've been just touching it, like doing other things, you're starting to see the Ford Blue come back out. Man, I'm getting really excited about a 6-cylinder. I never thought that would happen in my life. Anyways, I really hope that y'all follow along. I hope you enjoy the content so far. I hope you're not disappointed. I hope you're just as excited as I am. And that also means that we've got something else we can do on the Nissan. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Nissan. And as far as this project goes, I'm going to close out the Nissan content. And then we'll go from there. This is the truck that was supposed to be mechanically what the Ford was. Like I've just been saying, that's all changed. This truck is a great truck. Over 300,000 miles. It's just 304,000 miles. And it was running and driving when I parked it here. I intentionally went on a last drive with it, out the driveway, around over the highway, back up there, turned around at the old Woodford school, or one of the old Woodford schools anyways, drove all the way back, drove it back up here, and gave it a proper go around and parked it here. I did have that video, don't have it anymore. At this point, we started ripping the dash apart. We took the seats out. We've got it to this stage. This is where this truck is gonna stop as far as the Ford project goes. This truck might end up being a Bronco in the future. It might end up being like a, ooh, brother man, I got an idea. I need to measure out this wheelbase and find a ridiculously cool like 50s panel wagon. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be awesome. That's probably what's gonna happen. However, say goodbye for the Ford project to the Nissan. It will make more appearances on the channel, but as far as the Ford project, this is where the Nissan ends. Come along with me and rebuild this truck right here. Make it the coolest little 6-cylinder you ever seen in your life. Support your local racetracks, your car clubs, your various different car-related things, and celebrate gas engines while they still exist, because I do believe that there will come a day in my lifetime, even if I'm old, that they won't be around anymore. And that's heartbreaking. So support your car culture in your local area and be proud. All right. Oh, and support Hoffman Built.